Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here, and today we will be checking out Rust. This is the latest game from Garry's mod creator, Garry Newman, and it's a survival zombie slash stalker slash DayZ slash Minecraft game, combining elements from all those different games and genre types into this one interesting experience. Now, what I'm showing you here today is a look at the very early alpha of this game. You're going to notice a whole bunch of bugs and graphical glitches. I mean, even just, for example, taking a look on the horizon right now, there's a huge black bar. Clearly not complete or optimized or anything like that. But the reason I wanted to show you the game today is because I think it's an interesting concept, although these are ideas that have certainly been done before, sort of combining some of the more interesting aspects of these various games and game types into one experience. So let's put aside the fact that the game looks relatively ugly right now and just focus on the core ideas and concepts here in Rust. So as I mentioned, it's a survival exploration game that mixes elements of a game like DayZ. In fact, on his blog, Garry Newman was talking about when they originally started working on this game, it was pretty much a DayZ ripoff. You'd walk around scavenging for goods and dealing with zombies, and primarily the main enemy would be other players. Now that is still the case, however they've thrown in elements from games like Stalker, whereas you have to deal with radiation, and they've talked about the potential of adding things like mutants in the future, and they have also added these Minecraft elements in which you're allowed to build objects. So quickly I'll start off by showing you what I'm talking about in terms of the building. The way it's going to work here is there's a crafting system. You're going to notice I've got a bunch of my base crafting capabilities here on the right hand side. So under survival I can build things like wooden barricades, campfires, sleeping bags, storage containers, and a door. I can also craft ammunition for a 9mm as well as a 9mm pistol. I can make bandages to heal myself up, and then we've got some basic armor and then parts for constructing structures just like this. In fact, this exact structure can be made by players, and things much more complex and much more elaborate than that. But let me quickly show you how that works. So right now in my inventory, I've got a few base materials. These are materials that I gathered right prior to making the video. If you're going to ask me, Force, why do you have so few materials? Well, they're hard to come by. The pieces of wood here, you can gather them one at a time from chopping at a tree, or you can find these wood piles where you get 10 at a time. However, it's fairly scarce and difficult to even find those. So I don't have a lot because there's not a lot of resource available in this game. Plus, every time you die, which happens quite often, you lose everything that's in your inventory. So, for example, if I wanted to build a structure, you need a few things. You need a wooden foundation, you need pillars, and you need walls. And those are basically the requirements to build any structure like this. Right at the bottom, these are foundations, this is a pillar, and then we've got some walls and windows here. And then on top of that, you can add doors, but let me just show you here. So we're gonna go ahead and start crafting a wall. So for a wood wall, I need 25 wood. I've got 129, so I've got enough. And then once we hit craft, there's also a number here, so you can say, do I want to create one or two of these? A timer starts going down, and it's going to count down from, depending, each object has got a set crafting time, so it varies from object to object. So we've gone ahead and made a wall, and at the same time it's also getting close to nighttime here, so I'm going to quickly, before we move any further, start crafting a campfire. Now you can leave out of the crafting menu whenever you want, but you are going to be slowed down while crafting. You'll notice my movement speed is drastically reduced. And we do have quite a bit of trouble seeing right now, so we're going to want that campfire before I show you any more of the building and how this system is going to work. So as soon as that is done, which will be in just 1 second, I can go ahead and drag that down to here, and then I can place it anywhere I want. But we're going to place it right inside of our nice little building here. So there we go. So we had a campfire illuminating things a little bit. So as you just saw, we switched from day to night. There's a day-night cycle, very quick right now in the alpha. It's a very fast system that goes, I think, about every 5 minutes. You're going to switch from day to nighttime. So you're going to see that several times throughout the course of this video. So you'll have just noticed that I actually used up my wall structure and placed it in the opening there. So I could do the same thing right there, but let's take a look if there's anything else we can actually build. Do I have enough to build a door right now? Yes, I do. So why don't we do that? We're going to craft a door. And you're gonna notice that countdown of 30 seconds going down. Now while that is happening, I can explain a few of the other things you're seeing on the screen here. Right down over at the bottom right, there are conditions. So I've got the bleeding condition going on, which I don't know if that's just a bug It's been consistently saying bleeding even after I respawn, so I think that might be the case. But when you get a bleed effect by being attacked from an enemy zombie or being shot from another player, you'll lose health over time, as you expect. I've also got the comfort thing right there, and that's actually a buff from being next to the fire. Now, at nighttime, if I'm just wandering about, I will actually get that cold debuff that you just saw pop up there. But if I move next to a fire, that cold will be eliminated. Now, the reason you want to be careful from that is because when you are cold, you will acquire hunger faster. Or basically, there's the food resource at the bottom, those three things that says health, food, and rads. I'm sure that's very difficult to see because the UI is incredibly small. It's even difficult for me to see on my screen right now. But yes, there's 3 bars for health, food, and rads. Health is your health. Food is food. Once you run out, you start to get hungry, you start to lose health. And the rads is for radiation, and that's sort of the stalkerish element of this game. That's how that comes into play. So our door has finished crafting, so we could actually go ahead now and place down a door. And we're going to want to do that with, I'm pretty sure we do it within the wall. I don't know that putting it right there is going to, actually, you know what, we've got space for a door right here. So why don't we just go ahead and place that. I believe you can rotate the door. I'm able to rotate normal structures, but this one isn't rotating. Normally I'm able to rotate walls with the middle mouse wheel, but it doesn't appear to be working here. All right, so we're going to place the door there, and now we've got a door that we can open and close. Would you look at that? And I do believe we've got enough right now for another wall. So let's go ahead and scroll back down, and we can build a wood wall. Yep. We do have enough for another wall, so we're going to craft that, and in 20 seconds that will be ready, and we will construct our final wall, and at that point, we will have a full building. Now, we've got to worry about a few things. I've got to certainly worry about enemy players. That's the biggest concern in this game, and as I venture away from my little hut here, that's sort of away from one of the main towns right down in that vicinity, we're going to run into players, and they will shoot and kill me. I do have a gun, but no ammunition for it, and in order to craft ammo, you need to actually get the blueprints for it, either by scavenging them from a box or from an enemy player, or even just killing a zombie. So you are able to do that, you are able to make ammunition, but I don't have the necessary blueprints at the moment. So we're just gonna go ahead now and place down this wall, and there we go. So now I've got technically a full building. I mean, we've got an opening right here, and we've got some windows that people could shoot me through, but this is looking pretty decent. And then you can continue to stack things up. You can build staircases. Let's show you here. So again, we've got the pillars, which are needed to put up the walls and foundation and everything as well, and then the basic walls. But besides that, we've got these wood doorway frames, and then the actual door itself you place inside. The windows, you can build stairs so we can have multiple levels. You can also build a ramp and a ceiling as well. So that's currently what you are able to, those are currently the various parts available to construct a building. And as we move throughout the world here, you're going to see some pretty intense looking buildings and some very large ones as well. And why don't we actually, I'm going to extinguish my fire so we don't run out of wood, because it does actually use up wood. There's an inventory for these fires, and it uses up wood and then produces charcoal. And you can also get metal fragments by basically putting metal ore inside of the campfire, so it's a pretty neat little system there. All right, but let's go ahead and venture out right now, leave the safety of our home. And I just wanted to first, before we show you anything else, the first thing I wanted to show you was some sort of that construction. And again, you're able to craft yourself clothing, you get cloth off of enemy zombies and creatures, and you're able to construct various weapons and survivability tools and all sorts of stuff like that. So again, taking some of the elements from the games like DayZ, Stalker, and Minecraft, and combining them all into this one experience. I would definitely say that my initial impression of this game is pretty good. Obviously, again, the visuals, it looks pretty bad at this point, and I think we've got things cranked up right here. I'm pretty sure that I put things on one of the highest capable settings. Here, before we go into town over there, let me show you, this is another constructed home that people were taking, you know, their wood and making this location. Now, this is obviously something that took a bit of time and a lot of wood to craft, because, you know, each one of these pieces cost a fair amount, and again, it's not easy to find that wood resource. Now, this might be one of those fortified structures that are actually impenetrable. Some people, basically what they do is they build a structure without a outside door leading in, And then what happens is they put their, you can craft a sleeping bag, and that works as basically your home spawn. Actually, I think we can get in right here. I think at least I'm able to, yeah. Oh, I was able to catch on that edge there, and I just need to, I think I can do it. I don't really know. Oh, get so close. Yes, okay, so there we go. I was able to get myself in here. But what you can do, basically, from what I understand, is you can make these structures that there's no actual physical entry into, and then if you put a sleeping bag in, which I'll show you the sleeping bag here. So the sleeping bag, this acts as your respawn location. When you die, you can either choose a random respawn or to respawn at your camp. And once you have placed down a sleeping bag in a structure, it becomes your camp. So you can make sort of the safe haven for yourself. Now, right now, as of this moment, players are unable to destroy walls. You can destroy doors with your hatchet, but you are unable to destroy walls. So the only way to get into, if you were to make yourself like an impenetrable fortress, the only way for another player to get in as of this moment, unless they eventually implement the ability to actually destroy walls with a hatchet, you could build like a staircase up into someone's fortress. So if you had enough wood and you built the staircases, you could just run up to someone's fortress and then place those things down and then give yourself basically a ramp into their building. So there are ways to circumvent someone fortifying themselves in like that, but it's still pretty interesting. It requires work and resources in order to do so. You can't, as of now, just run up in and start hacking away. So again, as talked about before, very quick day-night cycle, and as we go to night here, you'll notice it gets really pitch black. So I'm going to try to find a location where we've got some light, or I'll just build a campfire, but so concerned about building a campfire because then we're going to deal with players shooting me in the face. And we actually have so there's a player right over there. We have a wild animal right here, which you actually eliminate to get yourself some food. So we're gonna, oh, okay. Oh no, he's coming. I'm gonna try to avoid him. You just have to be so wary of everybody. He killed the deer. And he also has a gun, so he'll probably try to kill me. There he is. Let's see if we can just, maybe he doesn't see me right now. I'm not walking around with a torch in front of my face, so. He's actually gathering, you can see that little blood splatter if you look really close. He's gathering meat from the animal that he just killed. Although it's weird right now because what was that? Oh my god, he's right there. There's someone over there too. It's weird right now because even gathering resource from trees or rocks, a blood splatter is displayed. It's very odd, actually. Damn it! That spooked me a bit. Okay, so now once you die, it's either a random respawn or a camp respawn. Now, I'll click camp respawn, but nothing will happen because I haven't set up a camp. But as I talked about earlier, if you were to set up a camp, then you would have sort of a safe haven to go back to. All right, we're gonna try to... Oh. Did I die? Or did he die? He died! Woohoo! I don't know. It's just, I'm supposed to be able to loot. There we go. Okay, so I can loot his stuff. So those are the things that he had. Looks like he actually didn't have too much. He had himself some ammo, a hatchet, and then a small med kit, which I guess we could use. So let's go ahead and use that right now. There we go. So we healed ourselves up a bit. And can't see diddly squat right now. So I'm going to just head on up to the horizon at the moment. So again, as of this moment, the game looks a little rough, but the thing that I'm really happy about is that the core elements are there. You've got the ability to construct your own buildings. You've got the ability to scavenge for resources, to, besides making buildings, build the various objects you need to survive, such as your clothing and your weapons and things of that nature. I don't know that physically within this video I'll be able to show you everything because there's so much, you know, randomness, aside from the fact that at any point someone could just walk up to me and kill me, as we have just seen happen. Besides that from happening, just being able to find these resources can be very difficult. Now we've got a little campfire place down over here, and actually no, that's a burning barrel. So here's an example of a static building that's been put in place by the developer. This isn't a player built area, and some of these areas will have various resources, and they'll also have have the radiation element of things, typically. So what I'd like to do is hopefully get to show you some of that. First, let me look over here, though. I don't know that I can gather anything from these barrels here. All of your gathering is done with your hatchet. It's the single item that's used for basic melee defense, and then all of your gathering, be it from animals or anything. But it doesn't look like the barrels are giving me anything. I know you can gather from crates. I know you can destroy crates as well. Okay, so we've got this little structure here, so I'd like to try to find my way inside. As of now, I'm not noticing any radiation. You'll hear a clicking noise, and the rad's bar at the bottom will climb up from 0 as you continue to receive radiation. And actually, is this an entrance? No, this is a very small... You'd have to be a very skinny person to fit through that. Realistically, any normal person could fit through that, but I am pretty fat in this game, apparently, so I cannot fit through that. And do we have entry in that spot? I think that this might be the potential for entry here. So we're gonna try some jumping shenanigans. I don't know that this is working right now. Oh, it's working all right. Okay. I gotta do like this little side jump thing, and I can't jump consecutively. It's like one jump, and then I gotta wait a second, and then we can jump again. But I don't know that this is actually working out. It looks like it's not. So I don't know that I can get into this building right now. Well, that's a shame, because I really wanted to show you. The main thing I wanted to show you, though, was the radiation, and it doesn't appear that radiation is coming from that building. But again, a lot of times, okay, so look at that. We've got this really big fortress area straight ahead. And we even have a zombie. Whoa, boy, I wasn't sure if we'd actually encounter a zombie here. But luckily, there's one right in the distance. I also got a glitching axe. That's exciting. So let's go up to the zombie. Zombies do significant amounts of damage. They are very terrifying. Man, oh man, that axe is buggy right now. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. And listen to that clicking. That's radiation. Okay, so let's engage the zombie. Animation's a bit weird. He looks like he's walking in a vat of jello or something. But, if they hit you, they do a lot of damage. Notice I just went all the way down to 77 right there. So quite a lot of damage. But look at this. I found a blueprint for the MP5A4. So we pick that up, and then we can study the blueprint. And then, once the blueprint is studied, we now know how to make the MP5A4. So we just need 120 metal fragments, which is a fair amount, but we could potentially get that. Maybe not in this video. But yeah, that little clicking that you heard there, briefly, that was a radiation. And you'll notice now my rads is all the way up to 56. And here we go, we got some more rads coming from this area. And you'll even notice how things get a little hazy. If you take a look at the skyline, you can see that now. So the radiation poisoning will climb quickly if you walk into heavily radiated areas. Again, the sort of the elements taken from Stalker. And once you reach 500 rads, you will start losing health at that point. So it's something to be very careful about. But at the same time, you know, we've got this place where walking into this area, we're starting to accumulate radiation poisoning. But there's also a good chance that we can find some resources in there. So another blueprints for the 9mm pistol. That does me no good because I already have it. I'm gonna quickly at least check this one building. I want to get out of here before I get to 500, but it's climbing quick, so. Oh, it's locked. Come on, you gotta be kidding me. Is there another entry? Ah, well, we can destroy the door, but I'm about to get to 500 radiation. You know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna go in here. I don't even care. So we're gonna get radiation poisoning. The point is, at least you get to see it now, what happens. And what'll happen is when your radiation levels get really high, they will either diminish slowly over time, or you can take radiation pills to make it drop quickly. Oh, there's absolutely nothing in here. What a waste. Nothing in that building. Notice I'm losing 5 health a tick now. And because I'm still over 500, I will continue to lose that health until we are dead. Well, it's the way it is, and now you know how radiation poisoning works. Congratulations. So we're gonna hit the random respawn. we will be brought to a random location here within this world. At the moment, the alpha seems incredibly small. I think that there is only one server, and upon checking the player list when I booted this up here, there was about 100 people playing. So it's a very small alpha at the moment. There was a brief period of time a couple of days ago where they're actually giving away free access, but it was very brief from what I understand, and it is no longer available. So in order to get in, you will actually need to acquire a key. Ah, a crate. And inside the crate, we've got some cloth. Let's see if there's anything we could potentially make with 2 cloth, huh? We'll go up to crafting. We will check our armor. Oh, we need a little bit more than 2. So you'll notice here to make the boots, we need 3. To make the pants, 8. 10 for the vest. And the helmet requires 5. So clothing is going to provide you with benefits like, I think it tells us exactly here. So plus bullet, plus melee, plus explosion, plus cold. This one giving me bullet, melee. Do they all just give bullet, melee, explosion, and cold? It looks like it does. So you get little bit extra benefits there. And there's also a description here. This is a piece of armor. Drag it to the corresponding slot. Okay, right. It will provide you additional protection. So there you go. Just, we already knew that, but that's what it says in the description, in case you weren't so aware. So since we can't really see much right now, what I will do is I will head over to this little building. And let me cut down some wood here. I don't think we have any, yeah, because we just died, so we gotta get some wood here. So we're chopping out a tree. I just want to get enough wood to build ourselves a campfire. As dangerous as it is to have that light source in these types of games. Okay, so we've got 6, which I do believe is enough. I can't see diddly squat. Alright, well I'm just going to build the fire here then. Craft. We just need 20 seconds. Man, I wish I could see something. I kind of wanted to go in this building to... I looked for the option to pump up the gamma to be able to see better, but it's not an option right now. So, in fact, the game at the moment is browser-based, but you can play in a full-screen mode. But it's not an individual, a separate program or anything. It will be in the future, but as of this moment, that is not the case. Okay, so we've got a little campfire here, and within the fire, we can do things like you place metals in there to get yourself metal fragments. You place, so this is the inventory, the loot section on the right-hand side. This is actually the inventory of the fire. So it's got the wood in it, which will allow it to burn. With no wood in it, it does not burn. So we put another piece of wood, and then we go ignite, and there we go. It starts to burn. So you put pieces of meat in there to cook the meat. Better for you, obviously, when you're eating. Wood in there will give you charcoal and also be fuel for the fire. Metal ore will turn into metal fragments, and those metal fragments are used to make weapons and bullets. But again, to actually make use of these weapons, you need gunpowder, which I don't have, so I can't. Actually, to make the bullets, you need the gunpowder as well. And this is actually, ooh, this is a very interesting looking building. Can I find myself a way in? It's starting to get light right now. Oh, you know what? I can probably jump and duck here. I think that is something that I should be able to do to get through a window. I've been able to get through windows before by doing. There we go. Got through the window by jumping and ducking. So we're going to close this entry door here. And we've got some storage containers, although I don't know if there's anything in them right now. Looks like that is a negatory. What about right here? We got some bullets. Too bad it's not bullets for the gun that I currently have equipped. That's a crying shame. Oh, more storage. Nothing, nothing, and nothing. Well, that's a bummer. Okay, guys, well, I guess we'll just wrap up the video now. Again, the primary reason for this video was to make you aware of the game, and then also just to show you some of the basic fundamentals, the building blocks of what this title will be about. And truthfully, at the moment, building blocks are all that exist for this game. It's not fully fleshed out. It's certainly got plenty of room for improvement. Oh, we've got a big area over there. I have to, we've got to wrap up by checking this place out. Looks like we're going to get some radiation poisoning in the process. I don't think this is the same facility that I went to prior. I think this is a different one. So again, notice the skyline getting hazy, the vision getting hazy as the radiation climbs here. I mean, these are just heavily radiated areas. And I'm gonna get to 500 before I even get inside this place. Hopefully there's less radiation on this side. Sounds like it. The clicking is much less frequent over here. I don't know what caused the radiation, but it's clearly present. Oh, is that a loot bag? There we go. It is a loot bag. What's in it? Nice! Some flares, med kit, and a hatchet. Not that I need another hatchet, but... I don't know, I think this game has a lot of potential, and I'm happy that now that the game being in alpha right now, I'm still pretty happy with the current base that they have here. But again, lots of room for improvement, so I'll be keeping my eye on this title as it continues to progress through the alpha phase, eventually into beta, and then of course the eventual release. And I'll be sure to update you guys with additional videos as the time comes. I need to get out of there. Maybe we can get my radiation dropped. There's a lot of zombies. There's also an interesting little gate thing over there. Okay, here come the zombies. They're probably gonna kill me. Animations could use a bunch of work too. Oh no, I'm dead. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force checking out the early alpha of Rust, developed by Garry Newman of Garry's Mod fame. You can find out more about the game by going to playrust.com. Link will be in the video description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning. I should just go build a house and try to hide from everything and everyone. I think that's a good idea.